charge quarter.
All right, and we're back. And before we went to break, I was speaking with Jim York from Silencerco. And so I left off for talking about you guys' marketing strategy. It's a bit, I like it personally. It's unique, it's fresh, it's young. So talk to me a little bit about that. What are you guys going for?
I mean, I guess one of the different things about us is a lot of us don't come from the shooting world, so we've just seen things from other elements, out there, and we've brought them into the shooting world. As far as video and just most of our content, that's something we kind of pride ourselves on. Is here's what everybody else is doing, and here's what we're gonna do. Make it or break it kind of attitude there. Yeah,
it's like with a lot of the content that I see from you guys, it doesn't even in many ways even feel like something from the firearm community. It seems like something that's a bit more universal in that sense.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times you see in the firearm community, you don't see a normal person. You see a guy decked out in a full camo uniform, and he's got all this extra gear on him and things like that. And we're trying to bring it down to more of a, everybody can and should be out shooting. It's not like you don't have to be a tactical guy. You can be, and that's great if you are, but you don't have to be. You don't have to be a hunter. You don't have to be. You can be just your average, everyday run-of-the-mill guy and still enjoy shooting. And so we might as well show that that's how it goes down.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's incredibly dope. I think the videos are really entertaining as well. One video in particular that stood out is that Maxim 9 video. You guys harken back to the 80s and the Miami Vice.
Yeah, the Maxim Vice video. Yeah. No, that was just a good time, and it's one of those things. That was definitely a hey, let's try it, see if it works.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have fun doing it, and hopefully everybody else will see that we had a good time and go from there.
So how much do you feel not having necessarily a gun background helps with what you guys are doing? Does it add? Does it make things difficult, limiting? I mean,
it's definitely there's pros and cons to it for sure. There's times we have to go ask questions of, hey, is this going to work? Is this feasible? Is this actually something that really might happen?
Yeah.
And then the pro side of that is, hey, this is what we think would be cool. Let's go do it. And it usually turns out different than what you would see from someone else. And we're having a good time. And if you're having a good time making something, that usually translates into, better content.
Yeah, I personally, and it's the same thing with me. Like when I'm doing my video reviews, it's the guns that I just really, truly enjoy shooting. Even if there are aspects to it that I hate and can't stand, those tend to be my better videos just because it doesn't feel like work. It's not arduous. It's like I'm just having a good time out here shooting. Now, my camera guys, they have to deal with the suck because, it's probably 100,000 degrees outside and they're running around with the camera equipment. But,
exactly.
But no, you're absolutely right. And that's another thing. It's like you guys take the silencer, something that is essentially a muffler, and you make it look fun. You make it look cool. Now it's like there's almost like this mystique about owning a silencer. Like it almost makes you look like you're nobody until you own a suppressor or a silencer.
You're that guy unless you have a silencer. Nobody wants to be that guy.
Yeah, right? I'm that guy right now because of 3 letters I'm not going to say. But so with this, one of the unique things you guys are doing in particular, like with the Maxim 9. Like, so for the people who don't know, the Maxim 9 is integrally suppressed handgun.
Yep.
I can't think, I may be wrong here, and I'm pretty sure there's somebody in comments that's going to say something about it. I don't think there is another handgun that's integrally suppressed. Am I missing? Or
we're the first integrally suppressed pistol that will accept any kind of factory ammo.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So talk to me about that. What made you guys want to build something like this?
Oh, it's just not resting on our laurels. I mean, we make a amazing product, but hey, we gotta keep pushing forward. We gotta keep pushing for something new, something different. Why is it that it has to be a separate piece, and why don't we just combine the two? No one's done it. Let's try it and see what we can do to make that work.
Yeah.
So push forward with that and came out with a product that, and I'm around suppressors a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, shooting quiet's kind of my jam, and when I get excited every time I get to get out and shoot this thing. It's awesome.
Now, is it currently available?
It's not currently available.
Okay.
We wanted to make sure when we put that product out on the market that it was tried and tested and ready to really go.
Yeah.
And we want this to be we see it as being a duty pistol for law enforcement, as well as, your everyday consumer should be purchasing this and not have any issues with it. So we made sure, went through rigorous testing before we sent out a product that was subpar. And so we're just finishing that up now, but Q1 of 2017, you'll see them on the market.
Now I have to ask: do you think there are any plans in the future to make one in a different caliber?
I mean, definitely. I mean, it's going to be one of those things. We'll see how it's perceived, and then in the future, if well perceived, we'll definitely be moving forward with larger, smaller, and a variety of different calibers.
Now, is it so with that particular with the Maxim 9? Is that one or two stamps? That's only one. Am I correct?
It's only the one stamp because it's just the one suppressor.
The suppressor, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, so then you buy it outright as you would buy a normal gun, but you still have to have the wait time because of the stamp.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Because of that classic tax stamp.
Right, arbitrary tax. So that being said, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit, but what would be your favorite setup from a silencer, like your favorite platform and silencer setup, or do you even have one? Is that hard to really kind of nail down?
I mean, that's really, really tough to say, but I mean, Maxim 9, like flat out, it's really, really cool, and it's just different. So I really enjoy shooting that. Another one is 300 Blackout. That's a fun round to shoot. You get some subsonic 300 Blackout, and you can go and shoot an AR all day, and it's super quiet, but a fun round to shoot. That's probably my favorite. A 300 Blackout. We've got a D300 here that's a lot of fun to shoot, and that gun's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. So if I commissioned you, I said, Jim, I want let me narrow it down. I want a rifle setup that is about as quiet as I could possibly get it, down to the ammo caliber, the silencer that would attach to the rifle, barrel length, all of those things. What, in your opinion, from your experience, would you set me up with?
I mean, if you wanted just a super quiet AR, I'd probably tell you go something, 300 Blackout by subsonic rounds. The ammo is going to play a big factor in that. Anytime you shoot a round that's breaking the sound barrier, it's going to have a crack. So you've got to factor that in. And then obviously the longer the barrel, the more pressure that you can get off from the barrel itself.
Gotcha.
So you've got a bunch of different options, but a typical 16-inch barrel, 300 Blackout AR, that's something I would recommend. And then put our Omega suppressor on it. That's a quiet gun.
Gotcha. Now with the now you mentioned something about the sonic boom that comes from a round that's going at supersonic speeds. Essentially, for people who don't know, it's the faster than the speed of sound. Is that sonic boom hearing safe?
That sonic boom is typically hearing safe just because the bullet's gone so far away that you're fine.
Okay. So for people who don't quite understand, when I say hearing safe, who don't quite understand that, on the surface, because I know it can be kind of complex, but kind of give me an idea what that means when you say something like that.
I mean, hearing safe is what's not going to do damage to your hearing, basically. And so it just because it says hearing safe, it doesn't mean that it's whisper quiet or that you like we were talking about earlier, you can go into the you can go James Bond style, pop off a few rounds and nobody's going to notice. Like that's not the case. Hearing safe means sorry about that. Basically, hearing safe is OSHA approved type regulation on what is going to do damage to your hearing and what isn't.
Gotcha. And one last question before we go. The salvo.
Yes.
Why? What? I want to know what happened that day. And we got about 30 seconds when y'all sat down and said we're going to make a suppressor for a shotgun.
Right. Well, and that's pushing the envelope, doing something different. People haven't done it because it was kind of those, you can't suppress a shotgun.
Yeah.
Game on. Like, I bet we're going to do it.
Yeah.
We want to prove them wrong, and so that's the whole kind of philosophy behind the salvo, and and that translates into like the Maxim 9 and aggressive, progressive products that people say can't be done. Well, we want to prove them wrong and say this is definitely doable.
Well, I can definitely.
We did.
Yeah, like I said, I always function better with the chip on my shoulder, so I can definitely relate to that. But man, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. I'm waiting for my silencers to come in. I know that I'm almost there. It's close. Yo, it was a pleasure, man. You have a good one. I love what you guys are doing over there, and y'all keep at it.
Hey, pleasure as always. Thanks, man.
Awesome, man. You take care.
See ya.
And we're at the end, folks. Please join us again Monday for another wonderful episode of Seeing Live. I'm Colion Noir, and I'm out.